So this is my interview for exhibition with my dad and about how he has influenced me. So let's get started. Alright, so has anyone ever influenced you, and would you compare yourself to them? Any role models you've had in the past?
Sure, I think I've had lots of role models. I think the most significant in my life were my parents growing up. Certain teachers have influenced me, and people I've worked with, and friends I've had growing up. And as far as comparing myself to them, I think so. I think what I've tried to do in my life is take the good examples that people set, the good things that I see in other people, and try to adapt those to things that I do. So I'd say so. You know, as I see people and they do things that I think are worth sort of repeating, I try to do that in my own life too.
So what kinds of things do you try to do that they've done for you?
Well, I think certain traits like being modest, treating people with respect, being courteous to other people, you know, just being honest. I think those are good things that are worth doing in your own life. So those are some of the traits I'd say.
Okay. What are some of the qualities you believe a good role model should have? Just any role model.
Well, I think being a role model involves doing a lot of things that are difficult. I think it's easy to just be a you know, happy, cheerful person, you know, at any point. That's great, but I think that's I think the challenge for a role model is to do the difficult things, the things we talked about before. You know, if you're doing work, doing it as well as you can, as thoroughly as you can. You know, being honest with other people. You know, being modest about the things you've done. I think those are important qualities.
Yep. Okay. In what ways do you try to influence me, or do you like lead from examples from your own life, or do you try to inspire me? What are just some of the ways you try to influence me?
I think the best way to influence you is to try to lead by example. I think it's nice to tell you how to do things, but I don't think it rings a little bit hollow sometimes if I tell you to do something, but I'm not actually doing it myself. So I think you know, I think if I live my life the right way and you can see that for yourself, I think it has a more of a lasting impact. So I would say by leading by example would be the way I would try to do it most.
Okay. How do you try to get me out of tough situations or deal with problems that I might have? Like if I come to you with a problem, how do you try to help me out? Basically is what I'm saying.
I think at first, when there are issues that we need to deal with, I like to think about think about it myself a little bit, but mostly talk through it. Try to help you see the whole picture. I think a lot of times if you're involved in a difficult situation, it's hard to really understand everything else that might be going on. So maybe talk through it, ask you some questions, try to get an understanding of it myself, and just try to make you feel better about something. Because I don't think there's any issues that we've had that aren't too great to overcome. Sometimes I think there are difficult things that you just have to accept that it's just a tough time and there aren't great solutions, but I think a lot of times it's just talking through it and getting you comfortable with where you are in the situation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and the fifth and biggest overall question is just, in what ways do you believe you have influenced me in the past? Just a general overview.
I think early on, you know, when you're young, helping you to read, you know, the basic things that I think any parent would do with a child. But I think hopefully, and maybe you'd be better able to answer the question, to set the right examples for you. You know, the way Mom and I treat each other, we treat each other with respect. I think we enjoy being together. You know, the way I interact with my family and my friends, you know, treating them courteously and you know, trying to find the fun things in other people and you know, try to be positive. I think sometimes I like to avoid the negative. That's not entirely easy all the time, but I think a lot of times if you if you're nice to other people, I think generally that's what you get back. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's one way of influence, Joe.
Yep, definitely has. Okay, so that was my interview with my dad.